Hello everybody. Welcome back for another video. Hope you're all doing well and that you're all having a great day. And without further ado, let's jump right into it. The co-founder of the social media website Reddit, his name is Alexis Ohanian, reportedly bought 50,000 Ether for just $15,000 during the cryptocurrency's pre-sale in 2014, costing just 30 cents per coin. Ohanian, who left the social media giant in 2020, told Forbes on the 21st of February that he found the idea of a decentralized store of value very attractive, partially due to his Armenian heritage. Prompting him to take an early gamble on Ethereum. He said, any group of people who have it in their consciousness or in their collective history, some idea of persecution, especially by a state, makes the idea of a store of value that is not controlled by any single state very attractive. And so, in some ways, it was hardwired in me then. It made me in a way receptive to the idea of a decentralized currency, end quote. Amazing. At current prices, this investment is worth roughly around $82.5 million, according to CoinMarketCap, representing an increase of 549,000%. 549,589%. The number sounds insane. This was, oddly enough, one of the most popular news stories that was actually out there. I would like to believe, I don't even know what I believe anymore. Stories like this, pay attention. Stories like this always predate, preface, come before we end up getting into a really crazy bull run. I know you heard me say it before, but it's absolutely true. There's always stories that begin to trickle into the limelight, into the cryptocurrency space. This person became a multimillionaire from this coin, and it sets something off in people where they go, I can do the exact same thing. And that's kind of I'm telling you, every single bull run, every single cycle has been exactly the same. So I expect this one is not going to be any different. I saw a number of people discussing, and this happens all the time as well. A lot of people, I think they have nothing better to do. So the discussions of decentralization always pop up as well. Well, why does he have so many coins? Why do I only have one Ether? It's not fair that he was able to do so. And I've explained this in the best way possible. It's a number of things. It is people who have assets and who have access to lots of money are always looking for ways to exchange their money for an asset that could potentially appreciate. You usually hear about the news that Shaquille O'Neal or other famous sports person at some point put $30,000 into this website and it made them $15 million. What you're not hearing is all the other garbage that they did put their money into that made them absolutely nothing. This is a very big thing for Jay-Z as well. For some reason, Jay-Z is seen as like this genius investor. No, he had millions of dollars. He realized that he needed to do something with his money. Some of the things actually stuck, and this is why he is a billionaire right now. The other part is this news isn't exactly, I wouldn't give it the title new, as far as we've heard stuff like this many other times before. First of all, here's the other tab. 550,000% return. How Alexis Ohanian turned $15,000 into $82 million with Ethereum. Ethereum could have been Tron. Ethereum could have been any other crappy coin that also got released. This guy got super lucky. The other point of it is, for those of you who did not know, and I've mentioned this before, but here's an article. It's from 6 years ago. Billionaire Mike Novogratz is an early Ethereum. It says an early Ethereum. They're missing the word investor. A lot of people in the space who got famous and have remained famous, because there were many people who told, don't forget about them, who told other people to buy Bitcoin Cash, to buy Bitcoin Gold, to buy Bitcoin Diamond, to buy Bitcoin Cash Satoshi's Vision. These coins were garbage, fell in price, and therefore this is why you don't hear about these people. You will hear about Novogratz because he is one of the people who is rumored to have, I think the story goes something along the lines of he was in Brooklyn. Someone told him to meet him somewhere. He walked into this office. He explained there was this nerdy guy on a computer. They got to talking. He's like, I like this idea. How can I get into it? And I think he got Ethereum roughly around $1 per coin. I don't know if you hear the construction. Roughly around $1 per coin, and I think he is rumored to have 1 million Ether. So, rich people moving their money around, it's going to happen. So the cool news is that a rich person got even richer. I don't know how to spin that one or how it's supposed to be absolutely amazing. But this was incredibly popular. Everyone was talking about how cool it is and how amazing and how he's a true believer in crypto. You don't have to be a true believer in crypto to throw $15,000 at something. I've mentioned before, I collect art. There's a lot of art that I'm like, whoa, this is actually not that nice. It's pretty ugly. But guess what? A lot of people like that artist and it keeps going up in value, and that's how investing works. That's the Reddit co-founder Alexis Ohanian apparently purchased 50,000 Ether, and now we found out he's even richer than we thought before. News. Yeah? Let's move on. In another bout of news that I missed, it says from the 21st of February, FTX Japan, the Japanese subsidiary of the defunct crypto exchange, will once again accept withdrawals in crypto and in dollars. In a statement, the business stated that withdrawals will be handled through the Liquid Japan web platform. However, clients must verify their balance if they have assets on the exchange. I would assume so. You can't just go there and be like, yeah, that's all mine. The businesses also said that users who do not have an account on Liquid Japan will have to create one in order to withdraw their assets. That's also completely logical. I can't simply type in Coinbase and then they give me money. That's not how any of this works. According to FTX Japan, all users who had funds on the platform have been notified. These users, according to the corporation, have been informed of the withdrawal process. Given the number of pending requests, FTX Japan advised customers to be aware that the procedure might be sluggish. In addition, as long as they get their money back, I don't think people really care. As long as it's not another Mt. Gox situation. Mt. Gox, the people who are owed money by Mt. Gox still do not have their money. That happened in, I think, 2012 or 2013. Remember when the whole FTX fiasco happened and I was like, whoa, backing it up. When the whole FTX fiasco happened and I said, hey, I don't think that exchange or any of the other subsidiaries are actually bankrupt. And then we heard from Sam Bankman-Fried. He was like, no, we're not actually bankrupt. We still have tons of money. And then he was forced to go into bankruptcy on the crypto exchange, which then locked up all the funds for... Anybody remember? Pepperidge Farm remembers. I was definitely there for it. I was like, hey, none of this is probably... The point is, I was like, as long as these people get their money back, I don't think people are going to care if it's sluggish. I'd rather wait 3.5 months to get my money as opposed to receiving an email that's like, oh, hey, bro, yeah, your money's gone. Hope you have a good Wednesday. Sorry again, LOL. Emoji. That's not at all what I want to hear. In addition, the announcement from Monday indicates the platform's plans to reveal the state of more services. As the FTX cryptocurrency exchange and its sibling trading company Alameda Research failed in November, FTX blah, 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 yada, 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 yada. So we also had news before. I don't keep up with it because I'm tired of the letters FTX. We also had news and indications before that FTX US apparently is also still solvent. What? Like I all told you a couple of months ago, why was everybody freaking out about this thing that no one's talking about anymore? So yeah, FTX Japan is now allowing people to withdraw their money. I assume FTX US is doing the exact same thing. I think there was also FTX Bahamas and there was some other FTX letter or something out there. So everyone, listen, I don't work for these companies, so I can't tell you, but it seems as if we are on track to understanding or knowing that everyone's going to be able to get their money back in some form or fashion. So, yeah, that's the FTX news. What? That's crazy. It's almost like I predicted this and everybody was losing their minds for nothing. News. And yeah, Also all right, sure. Ascendant NFT marketplace Blur, that is BLUR, announced on Tuesday that it will soon be airdropping $300 million worth of tokens to their loyal users, days after overtaking once untouchable competitor OpenSea as the most popular Ethereum NFT trading platform by trading volume. For those of you who missed it, earlier, I believe it was sometime last week, we got news that a cryptocurrency exchange, an NFT exchange, randomly came out of nowhere and became the number one NFT trading platform that was out there. It was called Blur, and they were doing a lot better than OpenSea. And then I told all of you exactly why OpenSea probably isn't doing well. OpenSea has a very interesting issue where they became so big, similar to Coinbase, and they believed that they would always have the number one spot. So OpenSea, and this is not a tinfoil hat. This is not they may be doing this. No, I saw this actively happen. They've been delisting projects, or they won't allow the projects to trade on OpenSea. And I don't know why they've done that specifically, but I think it's always very weird when people talk about and scream loudly about decentralization and Web3 and internet for everyone, but certain projects, and these aren't scammy projects. These are actual like big name projects. If for some reason OpenSea doesn't want them on their platform anymore, so they've frozen transactions, or you simply can't trade them on their systems. And it's like, did you think that people will just be happy with that forever? That they would go, well, I can't trade on OpenSea, I guess I'll just keep my NFTs forever? No, that's not how any of this is going to work. There's going to be another company who's going to do better than you, who's going to allow everything on their platform. And these are the companies who get all the money. Blur will release 300 million of its native Blur tokens to traders over the course of the platform's Season 2, which has already begun. Blur is currently trading at 99 cents according to CoinGecko. I assume if they're releasing or airdropping $300 million, the Blur token, which they have 300 million of, is probably a stable coin, and that's why it's at 99 cents. Season 1, which culminated with the debut of the native token Blur last week, saw Blur dole out care packages of Blur. This is a lot of Blur. To traders who transitioned to the platform from a competing NFT marketplace, listed NFTs on the platform immediately following its October launch, and used Blur to bid on NFTs. So wonderful. I assume unless they also fudge it up, they should also be doing relatively fine as well, just NFT-wise and competitively. And I'm shocked that more people haven't moved over there already. But I assume that more people will be moving over to the Blur platform if we continue to get news that OpenSea thinks that they can simply tell people. It's the same exact thing with other cryptocurrencies. I've told you all this thousands of times. The moment people get a whiff of something that, is restrictive, not decentralized, and once again, I understand that OpenSea is a company, but you can't walk around there's so many cryptocurrency companies or crypto NFT related who walk around with signs held up. We're here for Web3. Web3 is the future. Decentralization is key. We need to make sure that everything's decentralized. It's for the people. The moment they start making that good money, they become so restrictive and stop people from doing the things that they were doing before. So of course, no one's going to like you afterwards. That's the Blur $300 million airdrop news. Go for it. Hope it works out. And I hope that Blur also remains as open as possible, because you better watch out. There will be another exchange that pops up and people will start using that one more than you. Yeah. Let's move on. Also sure, why not? Bone Shiba Swap, one of the three main tokens within the Shiba Inu ecosystem, has seen its price explode by more than 100% over the last 7 weeks in a move that helped it become one of the top 100 cryptocurrencies by market cap. According to market data, each Bone token is now roughly around $1.87, up from the 87 cents at the beginning of the year. The cryptocurrency's price has been exploding ahead of the launch of Shiba Inu, the Shiba Inu ecosystem's layer 2 scaling solution. I can't wait for this thing to finally launch. It's in the news every single day, and I feel like it just will never actually happen. Bone's price rose to a market cap of $400 million, allowing it to enter the top 100 digital assets by ecosystem. The token is known to be a central part of the ecosystem of Shiba Swap. And according to Coinbase, they said it's a governance token that aims to allow the Shiba user to vote on the upcoming proposal of a doggy DAO. Wow. That is a decentralized autonomous organization. All right, cool. Shiba Swap allows Bone token holders to earn rewards for providing liquidity to the network, with users being able to swap their ERC20 tokens for other coins through it. Bone tokens holders can also stake on the platform to earn interest. So I assume it's the passive income coin of the Shiba Inu Bone Swap ecosystem. Isn't it insane how quickly this coin became popular? We don't hear jack diddly squat about Dogecoin anymore. When was the last time you had like a solid week where every single day Dogecoin was in the news? The last Dogecoin news we had was that Elon Musk wore a Dogecoin t-shirt as he watched Rihanna dancing on those platforms. That was the last Dogecoin news that we had. Also tying absolutely directly into this story as well. It says, geez Louise, 410 trillion Shiba Inu tokens have been burned from the supply forever ahead of the Shibarium release. As far as we've been told, there's still no exact date as to when the Shiba Inu Layer 2 scaling solution is going to launch, but apparently it's going to be the bee's knees and the best thing since sliced bread with butter and whatever else people put on bread, and everyone's going completely crazy for it. And how do you even get to that number? Does anyone know why they made so many Shiba Inu tokens? Was it just part of like the gag in the beginning? Like, oh, look, we have another doggy coin and this one has trillions of coins. 410 trillion coins have been permanently burned. There was news last week from Satoshi Kusama, who is the pseudonymous creator of this project. Now, once the layer 2 scaling solution launches, we're also supposed to see trillions of other coins being burned as well. The idea, from what I can tell from reading around on the interwebs, is that at some point there are only going to be several billion coins, which are leading people to believe this is where we get the 1 cent price thing from out there. So to recap, we got Shiba Inu's Bone is now a top 100 coin. It looks like a passive income coin. I know nothing about it, but I'm just assuming from the wording of everything. And Shibarium is going to be launching apparently sometime soon. And 400, that number's ridiculous. That number doesn't even make any logical sense. 410 trillion Shiba Inu tokens have been burned. I sincerely hope for this project. I hope you guys, by the end of it, I hope you live your best life. I hope that there are only, let's say, 50 billion coins left and all of you are mega millionaires and all this other stuff, because this coin's popularity completely came out of left, right, north, south, east field. And, cool. I tip my hat to you for keeping the intensity up, because you guys have, I don't know, you guys might be a little bit more intense than the XRP people, because, Shiba Inu's in the news every single day. That's the 410 trillion tokens have been permanently burned news. Cool. I hope you guys get to 8.5 cents, not 1 cent. See, I'm pushing you guys further. 8.5 cents. And yeah, let's move on. Also, and I think this was supposed to be news, but it's like, 6 days ago, a few hours before the blockchain infrastructure platform Paxos announced that it would no longer be minting BUSD stablecoins, $2.86 billion worth of BUSD were redeemed. And according to the way that I've read about it, the redemption seems to be the destruction of these tokens, and then therefore you get the US dollars back. Okay. Currently, Binance is the most active exchange trading BUSD. What? They're actively trading their own token. That's crazy. I've never heard of something like that before. And the stablecoin still commands roughly 10% of the crypto. That's crazy. That one coin has 10% of the crypto economy's money that's been traded. Okay. Statistics show that a significant amount of the Binance US dollar has been redeemed over the past 6 days, with the supply dropping by 17.7% during that time frame. Over the past month, the supply of BUSD has shrunk by nearly 20%. On the 13th of February, Paxos, the company that issues, manages, and redeems BUSD, announced it would no longer be minting new BUSD going forward. So who's doing it now? I don't think we've heard about that. Redemptions kicked into high gear after Paxos made the announcement, with $290 million being redeemed within 8 hours. People had that. Are there people who hold onto stablecoins as if they're holding onto dollars under their mattress? Is that a thing? $290 million within 8 hours. At the time of the announcement, there were $16 billion in circulation. As of 9th of February, there are $13 billion in circulation, meaning that 17% of them were destroyed or removed from the market. And there's a little chart right there like showing it going down. So you're like, oh my gosh, what happened? And then you're like, oh, they were just selling off the stable coins. So I think a lot of people, I'll say it nicely. Over the years, a lot of people were quite surprised that Binance became so big so quick. A lot of people were, I'm trying to be nice, assumed that because Binance was run by someone from a country that's not the United States, that it was falter. And don't sit there and lie, because if you've been here for the last couple of years, you remember 2017, 2018, a lot of people were, I remember, making fun of how Changpeng Sao looked, his accent, all these other things. You know who you are. And I think since Binance has become so big, this is why I think a lot of the regulatory pressure, air quotes there, has been mainly fraudulent, especially from the SEC, as far as them going after Binance or saying that Binance is doing something wrong. But they scream loudly that something terrible is happening, but nothing is ever substantiated, and we never hear about it ever again. It's simply 3-4 months down the line. I think that's just the corrupt game that they're playing. The same exact thing with them in the Wall Street Journal, talking about Tether. It always has to do with money. Always, always, always. Don't ever be confused. Don't ever think that it's something else. It's always this idea that everyone else is coming for your spot. Everybody else wants to be in the exact same position as Binance. And I can assure you, assuredly, if Binance's name was Fidelity or BlackRock, and they had their own US dollar called BUSD, BlackRock US dollar, we would not be hearing any of this news ever. Ever, 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 ever. So when this news was released about the Binance US dollars disappearing or being burned or removed from the market, a lot of people were asking, is Binance okay? Is Binance healthy? It's like, you know that they are. I don't understand why there's so much hate. Like, imagine if you took the time to not hate other people and focused on yourself to make yourself better or to make yourself more money. How much further along you'd be in life. Think of that. Like, think of all the times. Anyway, that's the Binance US dollar removed from circulation news. I'm sure it'll be fine. I'm sure we're going to get news. I give it June or July. That there's another company called Maxos or something stupid like that, and they're creating the new Binance US dollar, because you think that Binance is just going to give up because of what US lawmakers said? No. Alrighty. Let's move on. In what like this belongs in stupid news, and I don't understand how people don't understand how things work. I truly don't get it. A recently introduced Illinois Senate bill has been ridiculed by the crypto community over its unworkable plans. Now, hear this. The unworkable plans to force people who are mining on blockchains and validators to do impossible things, such as reversing transactions if ordered to do so by a state court. The Illinois Senate bill, they're trying to find a way to force people. If you understand how blockchain works, you should be having a little chuckle right now. They're trying to create a bill that would force people who are mining a cryptocurrency to not only reverse transactions, but basically reorganize the blockchain at the will of the people, of the actual politicians. That's literally not how it works. The Senate bill was quietly introduced into the Illinois legislature on the 9th of February. That just shows how stupid people are. Oh my gosh, the only way to do things like that, like block reorganizations or to reverse transactions, is to have the majority consensus on a blockchain. You need, and even more so, it's usually even higher than 51%. Most chains have it, like you've seen before, like when there's a vote or something happening on a blockchain, you need 70, 75, 80% of the blockchain network active validators to say, yay, this can go forth. The idea that they think that one single person sitting in a house who has a mining machine would be able to, like, what do they think this entire thing is or for? Like, imagine if this bill gets passed and then someone is told, reverse that transaction, tell us exactly where that money went, and they can't because it's impossible. That person then gets in trouble because of the stupidity of the people who wrote this thing. How do you even get this far in life? The Senate bill was quietly introduced into the Illinois legislature on the 9th of February by Illinois Senator Robert Peters, but appears to have been only recently noticed by the community after Florida-based lawyer Drew Hinkes discussed it in a tweet on the 19th of February. Titled, "The Digital Property Protection and Law Enforcement Act," the bill would authorize the courts, upon a valid request from the Attorney General or a state's attorney that is made pursuant to the law of Illinois, to order a blockchain transaction that is executed via a smart contract to be altered or rescinded. You can't do that. It literally doesn't make any sense. That's not how transactions work. And I think they don't understand. Like when you talk about the idea, this is why decentralization is so important. When you talk about the word immutable, this is an immutable blockchain. This is an immutable transaction. It's the word mute. It is immutable. You can't mute it. You can't change it. You can't reorganize it or make it the way that you want to do it. If that had been the case, there would be no Bitcoin. There would be no Ethereum. We would not have these blockchains because at some point, some other, almost said law student, some other politician somewhere else in the world would have already demanded it. And I'm sure that they have. And they were told, sit down because you're an idiot, because that's not how any of this actually works. The act would apply to any blockchain network that processes a blockchain transaction originating in the state. And here's the information for it right here. Hinkes described the bill as the most unworkable state law related to blockchain. How did these people get elected? Like how? And cryptocurrency that he has ever seen. He said this is a stunning reverse course for a state that was previously pro-innovation. Instead, we now get possibly the most unworkable state law related to crypto and blockchain I've ever seen. And the problem is that if the state orders you to do so and you are fined, you have to pay between $5,000 to $10,000 each day that you failed to comply. So basically, you'd be paying money forever because you cannot. Anyway, that's why I said this belongs in stupid news, because I wish the people who were in charge were smarter. I wish there was a mandate that if you needed to or wanted to be on the Senate, Congress, Parliament, the king's foot washer, you had to take a test to show your level of intelligence, because this is, and then to even think of trying to imagine if this gets passed, immediately law officials are going to try and go after people, and they're going to be told thousands of times, I can't help you, because that's not how blockchain works. These people are going to get in trouble $5,000 to $10,000 per day for something they can't do. That's like someone being like, hey, can you do me a favor? It's really in my way and I can't see stuff. Can you move the moon? And you're like, I don't have, my arms aren't long enough. Listen, you move that moon right now or you're getting charged. And like basically for the rest of your life, you and your family are being charged $10,000 per day because you don't have super strings. Anyway, that's the world has to do better news, because this is okay. Yeah. Let's move on. Yeah. I hope, despite that news, that you're all doing well. Bitcoin seems to have a whole bunch of new transactions. That's a long line once again for Bitcoin. It might be all the ordinal NFTs that are doing things, because this is a long line. It keeps going. Oh boy. Okay. It's not going to stop any. Ethereum's buses have stopped. And oh boy, this is what's happening. This is a lot of transactions. Okay, there we go. There's the end of it. I hope you all enjoyed. Hope you all are having a great day. Morning, afternoon, evening, wherever you are, wherever you might be. I do hope it's absolutely phantasmagoricals. Thank you all once again for watching, listening, liking, commenting, and or supporting. And I will most certainly be talking to you all soon. See you.